Assalamu alaikum and Eid Mubarak. My name is Usman Khan, and I want to thank you for connecting with us for today's Zoom In on the Halal Metropolis, where we take a closer look at how the Muslim communities of Southeast Michigan are coping with the COVID-19 pandemic. Today, we will be talking to Adnan Charara, esteemed Detroit artist and one of the artists participating in the Halal Metropolis exhibitions. Adnan is also the founder of Galerie Camille, located in Cass Avenue in Detroit. Assalamu alaikum, Adnan. Thank you for joining us today.
Assalamu alaikum and Eid Mubarak to everybody, to all the watchers, and happy Eid to everybody.
Great, thank you so much, and Eid Mubarak to you as well. So Adnan, there's so much to talk to you about just because of your kind of long history with arts in Detroit. But we'll have to sort of keep it short for now. But tell me a little, because you have a really interesting background, and sort of what sort of brought you first to Detroit, and then we'll talk about how you're coping with the kind of pandemic.
Okay. Well, I'm Lebanese and grew up between Lebanon and Sierra Leone, West Africa. So that's why my practice and interest have a lot to do with Middle Eastern and African art. And so I came to the US to pursue my studies. I went for architecture, city planning, and decide art is my calling. And came to Detroit because my parents retired here. From Sierra Leone, from West Africa, and I was in Boston, and then I realized it's important to me to be close to the family, and as I realized when I'm here that with the Arabic community, the Islamic community, it's in Detroit. Became a very important place for me because I felt their struggle is similar to our struggle in many sense, and so this idea to go back to Boston started to fade away, and we built the community here, and so I felt since I've been fortunate enough. I wanted to give something back, and that's the whole idea about the Galerie Camille and the philosophy of Galerie Camille. And now, in another note, we also just got the status to have a nonprofit organization, and that called APTA project. As my sister told me, do you mean APTA, which is mean a hug? I said, yes, we want to hug all nations, all people, everybody, and hopefully we can unite through art. So, and that's basically the philosophy of the of APTA, is to bring people together even more, and hopefully we can get funding and we can serve and give the community and show what we what's the belief of Muslim, and the giving, the peace, and really to show the true face of Islam, not the tainted one.
Right.
And that's important.
So did the project UPTA come about more because of how COVID affected Galerie Camille? I know you had some really wonderful exhibitions planned, and of course we know that Galerie Camille had to be closed, or was this something you've been working on, or how did it affect both Galerie Camille and now UPTA in how you're thinking about?
Well, UPTA is actually, it came about through a conversation that because my art practice is really about talking about injustice, about ignorance, about bringing really a dialogue that can open an engagement for people to connect and understand. And once you understand the other, instead of calling other, you feel it's no different than yourself. So and that was the philosophy, also part of Galerie Camille. But Galerie Camille alone cannot do it, because also the idea of being for profit as a business, which we've never been, but that's fine. And we felt, by adding, which is a completely different entity by itself, Opta. So Opta became more and more relevant, and in fact, we just got our status before the COVID happened.
Okay.
So it was like actually an outreach, a bigger outreach, and also to be able to finance artists for shows that we felt it's very important to be addressed, and able to work with institutions and able to reach a bigger hand, and to push aside the business, and so that's why we came up. And plus my practice as an artist, I felt it's important to maybe merge that too, because the idea is that hopefully I'll be working in Sierra Leone too, and bring this broader vision, so that we can connect culture, we can connect from all phase of life, whatever we felt to be addressed, or some artist that voice has not been heard, that maybe we can bring it to life.
I'm going to come back to your practice, but a quick question regarding Galerie Camille. How do you see its future? Has the sort of closing affected anything as far as its ability to open up again once that's allowed, or is it sort of kind of the fine? Because you said was a commercial gallery, right? So requiring
right.
Yeah.
No, definitely. I mean, but even before the COVID, we were feeling that the importance of the internet to get a larger audience for our art, for the website. So we were working on that, and now COVID just validate that and made us to really have to work faster. So Galerie Camille will be open. We will do both virtual and in-site, but I mean, we would still might be installing the exhibit and bringing the artist, giving the artist interviews, and then we also do it in the web. So I think that's what we're thinking right now. And even we thought about the idea to maybe even do the outer building structure might become a gallery where we will develop, like banners or stuff of reproductions of the art. So people from the outside, and they might be able to visit the gallery and see it through the website. And then if they want to purchase something, then they can purchase the original. So that's another idea, but also we're going to look at the budget that way and see how.
Right.
It's
so important to have, especially now thinking about it, the web is wonderful. It connects, we're connecting, we're talking, but the physical place where communities can gather, you realize how important they are. So we're really grateful for having Galerie Camille here in Detroit, and the work required to put a show on time after time after time. So I'm glad to hear that it's going to continue in whatever form is required. So that's great to hear.
Yes, well, Osman, I mean, Galerie Camille is grateful for, the art community at the same thing. And we hope to do more and be engaged more and bring, more interesting shows that for us, we feel it have meanings. And it can give the artist the voice that will be the tool for that voice to be spoken at. And now to do it visually and to do interviews, I think it adds another connection to the audience to understand the artist more, and we're hoping we can achieve that.
Right. So then I want to come back to your own practice, which is so diverse and prolific, be it from painting to sculpture to archival to print. I mean, there's no medium, but also, like you said, the topics you deal with, which is sort of injustice, kind of misrepresentations of the Muslim community, but also humor. So I just want to kind of understand how the current sort of situation is affecting your practice, because it is so prolific, and I'm sure not being able to go to the studio the same way. And is it a good time for you to be thinking about work right now, or is it, how are you being affected? Because your work's so wonderful.
Well, I'm like everybody else at the beginning. This hit us hard, like with the unknown and it took me actually a little bit. The first thing is I jumped into, like when they said you just can't go, you can't travel. So the first thing I did is like, as if I'm in my house or studio or something and there's a fire, what can you take? Right. So the first thing I ran is grab my sketchbooks, grab a bunch of pencils and watercolors and stuff and paper, and I ran with it. I said, goodbye, we'll see. And I started to just basically sketch. And that got a little bit, the questions is like, okay, well, but what is it? So I realized every day I sit in the window, time isn't relevant anymore. The structure of the week mean nothing. Week structure, I realize, is a business sense. Mm-hmm. Is they tell you Monday to Friday you work, Saturday, Sunday is your free time, and you could come back. Right. And I realized that's all gone. Right. My Monday is a Sunday, my Sunday is a Tuesday. It's a day, so it became a number. Mm-hmm. And I realized it was like number 40 something. I called it COVID 40 something. But every day, I sat in that window, watched the outside. I was much more mesmerized now suddenly with the environment around me, watching it, the beauty, the trees. I start looking at it like, oh my God, they're wearing dresses, beautiful dresses. Where are they going? Mm-hmm. I'm home, I'm sitting in my pajamas, and sipping that cup of coffee. And then I realized coffee is so important in our culture. As an Arabic culture, we invite people in. So the first thing we say, do you want a cup of coffee? But bring the coffee, So, and that took me to another work that, but same thing, when we have the social with the coffee, a lot of times they say, well, let's read the coffee. So we pour the cup and you read the grain, which is, it's reading completely gibberish thing. Right. And it doesn't mean anything, but you give comfort. You give comfort to the other person. You say, oh, you're getting a letter. I remember when my aunts and everyone, they read, oh, you're getting a letter, or, oh, it looks like, the girl, the younger, oh, it looks like Aris is coming in a horse, or this stamp here. So I wanted to create something in that sense, this uncertainty, but I want to make it certain. Mm-hmm. So I brought sheets of paper. At the end of every cup of coffee, I poured the coffee down, and I've been reading the grain. But same thing, trying to document the outside, writing fragmented poetry with it. And I'm hoping I will do this series and an installation where also I wanted to create this ceramic cups where all these little fragmented poetry I'm writing, instead of the grain, it will fulfill that grain inside. And also the impact. The second part of it is the impact. Some people are impacted a lot. Some people lost their lives. And I felt our life before is just like that cup of coffee. When you pour it, it was contained. And you took it as you pleased. So the whole idea now, I want to take these and drop them. And that impact, what it breaks, and how I reform it again and reshape those forms will become like the new life after, during COVID and after COVID. And so I'm hoping, that's what I'm hoping to do, but it might just go again, another idea sits in a box and who knows, but we're hoping at least you have to, because, we as an artist, we are always committed to do. I mean, whether COVID or not, I mean, this uncertainty, we always have uncertainty. As an artist, you commit yourself to create and survive. We're survivors, because, I could sell a painting or 10 in 1 week, or I couldn't sell for 2 years, it's a thing. But you just try to find a way to keep going and to do it because we need to do it. And same thing, you go about doing things because you have to do it, because you believe in it. And the humanity. And the other thing is I like to point to people, which I think, I don't know if I should say before I get creative, but I feel also this is the time where me should be flipped and become we. And that's what I'm going to be doing a t-shirt. It's just like this me idea. It's meaningless. So truly is we as a community, we as a nation, we as people, that is can get us through, not the me. The me is, it's really that getting us to many areas of this, like really unstable times. This individualistic idea. It's beautiful. We are all individualistic, but the only time it makes sense is when we become we. This country didn't build on me. Right. It built on we. And that's what I got out of COVID is this idea, and hoping people will get this, that it is we together can conquer everything, but me alone, I can just look at myself.
Well, thank you, Adnan, with speaking with us today and sharing the process of creativity, but also the importance of community. So thank you so much.
And thank you, Osman, for believing in me and reaching out. You've been great.
My pleasure, and I hope we can do it again.
Hopefully,
yes. Thank you all for Zooming in.